why your affectionate words might be ruining your bond. You truly believe you are deepening the connection with your cat. You adopt that sweet, elevated pitch in your voice. You shout their name with pure delight. You make those specific little noises that you are convinced they adore. But what if I were to reveal to you that some of the most loving, well-meaning things you vocalize could actually be causing them discomfort, inducing anxiety, or actively driving a wedge between you? 6 vocal habits your cat actually despises. Cease these immediately. Welcome back to Meowrange, our intimate, podcast-style corner of the internet where we uncover captivating facts, share touching narratives, and reveal startling truths about our cherished feline friends. This is your sanctuary to learn, evolve, and strengthen that miraculous tether you share with your companion through legitimate science and authentic empathy. We aren't here to burden you with guilt. We exist to help you evolve into the guardian your kitty genuinely merits. Now, I have a revelation that is going to absolutely astound you. Item number 4 on our list is going to fundamentally alter how you engage with your cat from this moment onward. I am speaking about a total paradigm shift in your relationship, and I guarantee you, almost everyone is guilty of this error without ever comprehending the harm it inflicts. Before we plunge into the details, I need you to take a small action, not for my sake, nor for this channel, but for your cat. If you truly cherish that little bundle of fur and wish to provide them with the optimal life, please hit that subscribe button and drop a like. This knowledge could be the dividing line between a cat who merely tolerates your presence and a cat who implicitly trusts you. Your cat is worthy of that. And frankly, so are you. The misunderstanding of volume. Consider the story of a woman named Sarah. She would return from her office every single evening, bursting with anticipation to greet her cat, Whiskers. She would storm through the front door, shouting his name with jubilation and high energy, and without fail, Whiskers would vanish beneath the bed for the remainder of the evening. Sarah assumed he was simply moody, perhaps temperamental, or even a little antisocial. She possessed no inkling that she was the root cause, or more precisely, that the volume and nature of her speech were to blame. Here is the fundamental concept that most owners fail to grasp. Cats have developed through evolution as solitary, hyper-aware predators. Their entire method of communication is predicated on subtlety, silence, and fine nuance. According to research documented in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, cats depend heavily on nonverbal cues and are acutely susceptible to vocal tones and decibel levels. When we interact with them utilizing our natural human tendencies, loud, boisterous, repetitive sounds, we are essentially shouting in an alien dialect that can feel suffocating or even menacing to them. Conceptualize it this way. Your cat's auditory processing is roughly 3 times more acute than your own. They can perceive frequencies soaring up to 64,000 Hz, compared to our paltry 20,000 Hz. This implies that every noise you emit is magnified, sharper, and far more intense for them than it appears to you. Veterinary behaviorists have recorded that excessive or abrasive vocal stimulation can actively ignite stress responses in felines, spiking their cortisol levels and keeping them in a state of chronic, low-level anxiety. So, let us dismantle what you might be doing incorrectly, not to embarrass you, but to equip you. Because once you possess the knowledge, you can implement the solution. Point 1. The pspsps myth. The very first thing you must cease saying, or more precisely, stop manufacturing, is that sound. You know exactly which one I mean. Pspsps. That piercing, hissing, repetitive noise that society has conditioned us to accept as the universal cat summoning signal. Here is the reality. A vast number of cats absolutely detest it. Scientific inquiry into feline auditory sensitivity demonstrates that abrupt, high-frequency noises can be genuinely aggravating or even physically uncomfortable to a cat's delicate ears. That specific pspsps noise strikes frequencies that are notably sharp and attention-grabbing, which is precisely why it occasionally yields results. However, simply because it snaps their head in your direction does not imply they enjoy it. Analyze it from their vantage point. Picture a stranger whistling shrilly directly into your ear canal every time they desired your focus. It works, undoubtedly. You would certainly pay attention. But would you feel serene, joyous, and connected? Or would you feel startled and irritated? I consulted with a veterinary behaviorist who detailed a captivating case study. A cat named Oliver had established a routine of fleeing whenever his human walked into the room. Following weeks of careful observation and behavioral adjustments, they realized that the owner's habit of utilizing pspsps to summon Oliver had forged a negative neural association. Oliver had essentially deduced that this sharp, unpleasant noise signaled that a human wanted something from him, and he preferred to evade the interaction altogether. Once the owner pivoted to utilizing Oliver's name in a hushed, steady timbre, the hiding behavior plummeted by over 70% in less than 3 weeks. The alternative is elegantly straightforward. Employ a soft, unwavering vocal tone. Speak your cat's name tranquilly. Utilize gentle, anticipated sounds. Cats respond infinitely better to reliability and composure than to sudden, piercing noises. Studies in animal behavior universally indicate that cats construct positive associations with calm, predictable interactions, not theatrical or startling ones. Point 2. High-energy greetings. The second habit that is likely driving your cat to the brink is speaking at high volume or with excessive kinetic energy, particularly upon your initial reunion. I understand completely. You are enthusiastic. You have missed them. You desire to deluge them with affection. However, here is the biological reality. You are overloading their nervous system. Cats are crepuscular creatures, meaning their peak activity occurs during the twilight hours of dawn and dusk. Their baseline state is one of calm alertness, not high-octane excitement. Research from the American Association of Feline practitioners suggest that cats residing in consistently tranquil environments exhibit significantly reduced stress biomarkers compared to cats in boisterous or unpredictable households. When you arrive home shouting salutations or speaking in a booming, animated voice, you are essentially tripping their biological alarm system. Their heart rate accelerates, their musculature tightens, and they shift into a mode of vigilance rather than relaxation. One veterinarian I interviewed revealed that in her clinic, she can frequently categorize cats from high-volume households versus quiet ones based solely on their tension levels during checkups. The felines hailing from quieter sanctuaries are noticeably more pliable, easier to examine, and demonstrate greater trust toward human handlers. The remedy is not to suppress your joy. It is to regulate your volume and intensity. When you walk through the door, attempt to greet your cat with the same hushed tone you would utilize in a public library. Lower your register. Decelerate your physical movements. Allow them to approach you, rather than advancing upon them with overwhelming force. You will be astounded at how much more amenable they are to engagement when you meet them at their energy frequency, rather than compelling them to match yours. The trust-destroying mistake. Now, recall when I stated that item number 4 would alter everything? This is where it gets truly fascinating. The upcoming item on this list is something 9 out of 10 cat owners engage in without a second thought, and it might be the single most significant reason your cat refuses to come when called. It is eroding their trust in you, one word at a time, and you likely committed this error at least 3 times today alone. But that is precisely where we are headed next, the communication errors that compel your cat to tune you out. Number 3. Inconsistent baby talk. Before we reach that pivotal 4th point, let's discuss something that might startle you, something that feels affectionate and tender, yet might be perplexing your cat more than it aids them. The third habit you need to reevaluate is the excessive use of baby talk with your feline. Now, before you exit this video assuming I am some emotionless cyborg who insists you never speak sweetly to your pet again, please listen closely. This is nuanced, and the nuance is critical. There is a monumental distinction between utilizing a soft, gentle cadence and completely infantilizing your communication with excessive, erratic baby babble. Research published in Animal Cognition reveals that cats actually respond superiorly to consistent vocal patterns rather than highly variable ones. When we employ extreme baby talk, that ultra-high-pitched, sing-song voice that fluctuates wildly from second to second, we are generating unpredictability. And if there is one element cats absolutely require, it is predictability. Consider the logic. Cats are organisms of routine and pattern recognition. They acquire commands, understand boundaries, and learn expectations through repetition and consistency. When your tone swings wildly, one moment you are speaking in a standard register, the next you are utilizing a falsetto baby voice. then returning to normal. Your cat cannot form clear neural associations. Studies in feline behavioral psychology demonstrate that cats trained with steady vocal tones master commands significantly quicker and retain them longer than cats subjected to highly volatile vocal patterns. I wish to share a narrative that perfectly illuminates this. A cat behavior consultant I know worked with two distinct households. In the first home, the owner utilized a gentle, steady tone when interacting with their cat, Bella. Commands were lucid. The voice was warm but unvarying. Bella learned her name, responded to "come here," and grasped boundaries within weeks. In the second home, the owner utilized extreme baby talk that shifted constantly. Their cat, Whiskers, appeared baffled by commands, did not respond to his name with any consistency, and seemed generally more anxious during interactions. Same breed, similar age, totally divergent results. The solution is not to eliminate the soft voice. Please, maintain that warmth and tenderness. It is about locating the equilibrium between affectionate communication and clear, dependable patterns. Your cat will actually feel more secure and bonded when they can forecast and comprehend your style of communication. Number 4. The name-calling trap, the game changer. Now, here is the paradigm shift I promised you. Item number 4. And I am telling you plainly right now, this will revolutionize your relationship with your cat if you can master it. Stop calling your cat's name repeatedly when they are clearly ignoring you. I know. You call them, they do not appear. So you call again, and again, and again, each repetition becoming slightly louder, slightly more frustrated. You believe you are simply being persistent. You think eventually they will heed you. But here is what is actually transpiring. You are teaching them that their name means absolutely nothing. Let me elucidate the psychology underpinning this. When a cat ignores you, they are not being obstinate or vindictive. They are communicating something profoundly important. According to research from the University of Tokyo's Department of Animal Science, cats are fully capable of distinguishing their names and the voices of their owners. They know you are calling. They are actively choosing not to respond. And there is always a rationale. Cats require intervals of solitude. It is not personal. It is biological. Studies in feline ethology demonstrate that even highly social cats necessitate alone time to regulate their stress levels and sustain psychological equilibrium. When your cat is napping, grooming, or simply electing to be solitary, calling them incessantly is not going to induce them to come. It is going to make them associate their name with pressure, annoyance, and the infringement of their boundaries. Here is the devastating component. Every single time you call your cat's name and they do not respond, you are diluting the potency of that name. Learned irrelevance. Behavioral conditioning research indicates that when a cue, in this case, their name, is repeated without consequence or reinforcement, it undergoes a process called learned irrelevance. Your cat literally learns that their name is meaningless background static rather than a crucial signal meriting attention. Visualize this scenario in human terms. You are attempting to focus on a critical task, or you are resting after a grueling day. Someone keeps chanting your name over and over, 20 times, 30 times. You are not ignoring them because you loathe them. You are ignoring them because you require space. And their refusal to honor that space is actually making you less likely to respond, not more. I witnessed this transformation firsthand with a friend's cat, Luna. My friend would call Luna's name perpetually. When Luna was sleeping, when she was in another room, when she was clearly occupied. Luna's response rate was perhaps 10%. The behavior consultant suggested a radical modification. Only call Luna's name when absolutely necessary, and always make it worthwhile. A treat, a play session, something positive. Within 2 months, Luna's response rate leaped to over 80%. Same cat, same name, completely different approach. The respect you demonstrate for your cat's autonomy is not weakness. It is the bedrock of genuine trust. Research consistently shows that cats who have their boundaries respected exhibit higher levels of affection, lower stress markers, and more robust bonds with their owners. When you allow your cat to possess space and only summon them when it genuinely matters, you are teaching them that their name signifies something vital, something positive, something worthy of a response. Your cat isn't being stubborn or unloving when they ignore you. They are being authentically feline. They are communicating their needs in the only manner they know. And when you learn to heed that communication, when you honor their silence as much as their purrs, everything shifts. The moments when they do choose to approach you become so much more significant because they are genuine choices, not coerced reactions to relentless summoning. This is what people fail to grasp about cats. They are not dogs. They won't come just because you called. They will come because they want to, because they trust you, and because you have proven that interactions with you are safe, positive, and on their terms. The emotional impact of your voice. Now, if those first 4 items startled you, what I am about to disclose next might actually induce a twinge of guilt. Because the final 2 items are so prevalent, so seemingly innocuous, that they occur in almost every home with cats. They occurred in mine too, before I knew better. And once you comprehend them, you will never view your communication with your cat through the same lens again. I will be candid with you. I used to commit both of these errors every single day, multiple times a day. And I had no concept that I was generating tiny moments of fear and stress for the cat I cherish more than anything. So if you identify yourself in what I am about to share, please do not chastise yourself. We are learning together. That is the purpose of this channel. Number 5. The angry no. The 5th habit that is corroding your relationship is saying no with anger or frustration in your voice. I need you to truly internalize this, because it is not about the vocabulary itself. Your cat does not speak English. They do not comprehend that no means cease, or that yes means proceed. What they do understand with crystal clarity is emotion. And when you say no, while you are angry, frustrated, or stressed, you are not teaching them boundaries. You are teaching them to fear you. Here is the science behind this interaction. Research in feline cognition and behavior reveals that cats are exceptionally adept at interpreting human emotional states. A study published in Animal Cognition demonstrated that cats can differentiate between positive and negative human emotions and modify their behavior accordingly. They are reading your facial microexpressions, your body language, your tone, and yes, the emotional energy propelling your words. When you articulate no calmly and firmly, your cat can learn that this specific sound indicates a boundary. But when you say no, laced with anger, their brain does not process the linguistic definition. It processes the threat. Their amygdala, the sector of the brain responsible for processing fear and emotional memories, lights up. Their stress hormone, cortisol, spikes. They shift instantaneously into a fight or flight response. And here is what is truly heartbreaking. They aren't learning not to scratch the sofa or jump on the counter. They are learning that you are unpredictable and potentially dangerous. Veterinary behaviorists have documented cases where cats develop fear-based behavioral issues stemming from repeated exposure to angry vocal corrections. These cats become skittish, hide with greater frequency, and demonstrate less affection. One behaviorist shared a case of a cat named Simba who developed inappropriate elimination issues, urinating outside the litter box. After a thorough investigation, they traced the behavior back to the owner's habit of yelling "no" whenever Simba did something unwanted. Simba had become so stressed that it manifested physically. The contrast is remarkable. In the same practice, they worked with an owner who utilized calm, firm redirection instead. Their cat, Milo, learned boundaries rapidly and exhibited no signs of fear or anxiety. Same behavior modification goals, completely different emotional impact. You must understand this about feline memory. Cats possess excellent associative memory, particularly for negative experiences. Research implies that cats can retain traumatic or stressful events for years. Every time you inject anger into your voice, you are forging a negative memory that your cat associates with you. Over time, these memories accumulate, and your cat begins to view you as a source of stress rather than safety. The alternative is simple but demands emotional discipline. When your cat does something you dislike, take a breath, reset your emotional state, then use a calm, firm no, or redirect their behavior towards something positive. Instead of angrily shouting when they are scratching the couch, calmly say no and immediately guide them to their scratching post, rewarding them when they use it. Your emotional energy matters more than your words ever will. Number 6. Constant chatter during stress. Now, the 6th and final item might be the most subtle, but I genuinely believe it is the most damaging of all. It is something that happens with the best of intentions, usually when we are trying to aid our cats through difficult moments. Stop talking constantly to your cat during their moments of stress. Think about the last time you transported your cat to the vet, or gave them a bath, or had strangers in the house. I am willing to wager you spoke to them throughout the entire ordeal. It's okay, baby. You're doing so good. Don't worry. It's almost over. Over and over, a steady stream of words meant to comfort. But here is what is actually happening. You are creating sensory overload during a moment when their nervous system is already in crisis. Research on feline stress responses indicates that when cats are frightened or anxious, their sensory processing becomes heightened and easily overwhelmed. They are already contending with the terrifying stimulus, the vet office smells, the water, the strangers. And now, they must process your continuous vocalization on top of it. According to studies in veterinary behavioral medicine, cats experiencing acute stress demonstrate better recovery and lower stress markers when exposed to a calm, quiet presence rather than continuous verbal interaction. Think about it from a human perspective. Imagine you are terrified and someone is chattering constantly in your ear while you are trying to cope with your fear. Even though they mean well, that constant babble is not helping. It is adding another layer of stimulation you have to process while already overwhelmed. A veterinary study compared stress levels in cats during examinations. Group A received constant verbal reassurance from their owners. Group B received silent, calm presence, gentle stroking without talking. The cats in the silent group had measurably lower stress responses, faster recovery times, and less defensive behavior. I observed this principle with a cat named Pepper during a residential move. Pepper's owner initially attempted constant reassurance throughout the packing and transit. Pepper was a wreck, hiding, refusing to eat, showing severe stress. A behavior consultant suggested stopping the talking and simply being present. Sit quietly near Pepper. Let her process without verbal stimulation. Within hours, Pepper's stress subsided. Within 2 days, she was exploring her new environment. The alternative to constant talking is powerful, calm presence. When your cat is stressed, resist the urge to fill the silence with words. Instead, be near them. Breathe slowly. Project calm energy. If they desire physical comfort, offer gentle touch without verbal accompaniment. Let your presence be the comfort, not your words. This is perhaps the most profound lesson in cat communication. Sometimes the most loving thing you can say is nothing at all. How to rebuild the bond, the 3 A's. So now you possess the knowledge of all 6 habits. But here is what really matters, because understanding what not to do is only half the narrative. What if I told you there is a simple method to start rebuilding that communication today? A way to transform your relationship from one of misunderstanding to one of genuine connection and trust? Let's synthesize this. We have discussed the sharp sounds like pspsps that hurt their ears. We discussed how loudness overwhelms them. We explored how excessive baby talk confuses them. We uncovered how calling their name repeatedly teaches them to ignore you. We revealed how anger creates fear. And we discovered how talking during stress creates sensory overload. If you recognize yourself in any of these, and let's be honest, most of us do at least 3 or 4, take a deep breath right now. You are not a bad cat parent. You are not failing your cat. The simple fact that you are here, learning, caring enough to want to improve, that already makes you exactly the kind of human your cat needs. Here is something beautiful. Research shows that cats are incredibly adaptable to positive changes in communication. Studies in feline behavior demonstrate that cats can adjust to new interaction patterns within just 2 to 3 weeks when those changes are consistent and positive. Your past mistakes haven't permanently damaged your relationship. Every single moment is a new opportunity to communicate better. So, how do we actually execute this? Let me share with you what I call the 3 A's, a framework that has helped countless owners revolutionize their relationships. 1. Awareness. Start paying attention to your cat's reactions to your voice. When you speak, does their body language shift? Do ears flatten? Do they recoil? Your cat is constantly communicating through body language. You just need to start listening. Spend a few days simply observing. 2. Adjustment. Start implementing changes gradually. Don't try to overhaul everything overnight. Pick one thing from this list, maybe lowering your volume or stopping the pspsps, and commit to changing just that one thing for a week. Small, consistent changes are infinitely more powerful than dramatic overhauls you can't sustain. 3. Affection. The quiet kindness is about reinforcing positive moments without words. When your cat chooses to come to you, don't overwhelm them with excited chatter. Just be present. Offer gentle pets. Let the moment speak for itself. Your quiet contentment is the most powerful affection you can offer. Let me tell you about Jennifer and her cat, Luna. Jennifer was doing almost all 6 of these things: baby voice, constant name calling, yelling at counter surfing. Luna was skittish and distant. Jennifer committed to the 3 A's. She observed Luna's flattened ears, awareness. She adjusted by speaking calmly and limiting name calling, adjustment. She showed affection through quiet presence, affection. Within 2 weeks, Luna was spending more time near Jennifer. By week 3, Luna started sitting on the couch. By week 5, Luna was seeking Jennifer out for affection multiple times a day, something she'd never done before. Same cat, same home, completely different relationship. The challenge: I want you to try something this week. Pick just one thing from this video. Commit to that one change for 7 days and watch what happens. Come back and tell me about it in the comments. Which of these 6 surprised you the most? I read every single comment. If this video changed how you will communicate with your cat, show it some love with a like. It helps other cat parents find this information. And if you want more content like this, real science, genuine insights, subscribe to Meowrange. Remember, your cat chose you. In their own mysterious way, they decided you were worth their trust. They love you. They just show it differently. And now, you can love them back in the language they truly understand. The language of respect, patience, and calm presence. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can say to our cats is nothing at all. Just being there. That is where real connection lives. Until next time, keep those paws happy and those purrs coming. This is Meowrange, and I'll see you in the next one.